If I wanted to explain EFT in layman terms, I would say that it is a link between the physical pain and the emotions attached to it. And by tapping on your meridian lines, you're releasing the energy that's stuck in the meridian lines. Meanwhile, you're actually working on the emotions around the trauma.
The beauty of EFT is that anyone can learn to do it on the simple issues of life that wear us all out. And then when you hit something more difficult for you, whether it's a pain or an emotional issue, we all have our blind spots. And the real reason, the core issue can be staring you in the face and you may not see it. So it's working through those blind spots is where a therapist will help you.
I say at first I was sceptical, but after about 10 minutes trying it, I found that it really did work for me.
They seem to use acupuncture, and I'm just interested in, even though I'm a nurse by background, I would always believe to go to the medical side first, get that sorted, and then I would always investigate any other things out there.
I would definitely recommend it to anybody, just because it's so simple. You don't have to build yourself up. You don't have to talk about your past. You can just, it's very instant and it's very present. That's what I really liked about it.
I felt that because it was based on acupuncture points, that there was a very deep sound ethos behind it. And I felt that this was something that was worth investigating.
The process was very interesting. More the discussion, I suppose, really, than the tapping. But basically the combination seemed anyway, I felt better afterwards. Yeah. There's no question that there was obviously a lot of stress going on in my life at the time, and I probably wasn't managing it very well. And by the process of discussing it and doing the tapping, I certainly reckon I felt a lot better afterwards. I feel a lot better now.
I'm very quick to pull it out and use it for the kids, but
Right.
I'm not so quick to use it for myself. But I always find that a session with a therapist is, you just seem to get so much more out of it.
I felt very energetic, and I remember after one of the first sessions I went home and went for like a really long walk that I hadn't done in a long time, and I couldn't actually wait to get out the door. I was full of the joys of spring.
I think tapping onto those points, I think focusing on the business of tapping on different sensitive points in the body while you're saying to yourself what it is you want to achieve or what you want to forget or what emotional thing you want to deal with, makes up, it's to touch, feel and think about a thing at the same time is actually, this is a very prosaic way to put it, it strikes me as a very positive thing to do for yourself, and that's its appeal to me.
For example, the pain that I had in my back is gone, basically, and the pains I had, stress pains I had in my neck.
Well, last summer I had a really bad trapped nerve in my back, which stopped me from working. I was in constant pain. My friend introduced me to EFT. The tapping, you know, it really homed in on the fact that I talked about how the pain was affecting me, how my life was coming to a bit of a standstill, and EFT was able to unlock that, those emotions I had around the pain, about carrying it. And after a couple of sessions with a practitioner, I was able to let that pain go from 100 down to a 20, and then with some more work down to a 0, and I'm now pain-free.
Now I have back pain as well, and I suppose all nurses do, and that hugely improved.
They're quite young at the moment, so I find it's a great tool for just relaxing them, going through everything that they went through during the day, and then tapping through the fact that they'll have a great night's sleep and that they'll be nice and happy and healthy in the morning when they wake up, and they just seem to drift off into a peaceful sleep after just a few minutes.
I work sometimes with my son. He's been diagnosed dyslexic, so we look at sometimes doing a small bit of tapping with him before he does his homework, because small children get stressed over not fitting in with their friends. And I found that usually if we make it a game, we do tapping together, and he has found it really helpful.
I felt a weight was lifted off. That feeling of unease disappeared, and to be replaced by relaxation and contentment, a feeling that the homework, yes, had finally been done, and that I felt no need to reproach myself.
I do see a real result. I feel mentally better. I might have a lie down, but I'm able to actually control how emotionally I'm feeling and how physically my body is reacting to that emotion.
maybe even a business as a whole, where there's a high stress levels. And I would say there's high stress levels in business at the moment, given the circumstances we're in. You would think it would be a good idea for a group to do a session and check out the results. It would certainly be worth a try.
I was focused on weight loss, and actually it became about something else for me, really. It became about sort of letting go of some stuff that I was bottling up, I suppose. So that's what it worked on for me.
White Maltesers in particular, if I saw them in a shop window, or if I saw them, I mightn't even plan to buy chocolate, I would just have picked them up. I've never ever got a craving since about a White Malteser.
In terms of career development and career progression, I'm more confident now. I'm far more confident because of EFT than I was in the past, and I'm putting myself forward for things that I wouldn't have gone for before.
Well, I used EFT and I found it really helped me with my fear of flying, and I think I'd recommend it to anyone.
It's just a focusing tool, which is very powerful. And every morning I do it. I do it twice every morning. And it really reminds me what I'm supposed to be doing that day, and it also reminds me where I'm going, what this thing is that I want to do.
The reason I absolutely adore EFT is because you can give the person something to take home with them. So they can come, they can have their session, I can show them the whole technique, and then they can go home and they can use it anytime, any place, anywhere. It's just empowering them to do it themselves.
When we're young, we learn by the things that happen to us. So we take the example of the little lad goes into school, he's dying for his part in the school play, he trips, falls off the platform, total humiliation, laughed at by all the students, given out to by the teacher. He has a horrible experience. So 30 years later, a young successful director, he's waking up literally crying with the most awful pains in his stomach before any speech he has to give. Tries everything, EFT. EFT works so brilliantly because it links together the physical and the emotional. And the tapping brings up these old memories so quickly that he had never thought about. These overwhelming feelings can be gently tapped away with EFT. And that's what makes EFT such a wonderful, empowering tool.